All right, for this tutorial, you're going to need Bernat Dec Maker yarn. You will need measuring tape to measure your hips, around your hips and waist, scissors, T-pins, and of course the ubiquitous form. You can actually do this without using the form because most of the work is going to be done standing up on a my IKEA stand. 49 in centimeters. So this is going to be the back seam. You'll see what I'm talking about. Now you're going to need to measure around your hips and make sure that once you measure around your hips, the middle part of your hips, I guess. So yeah, about right here. Measure around here and around your butt, derriere, whatever, all the way around. I've added padding here. Even though I'm not really going to be working here, I will work from there at one point. So measure around and then take that measurement and you need to double it and then another half, okay? So I measured 45, so it'd be 90 plus another half of 45. That's about 22.5. So like 115. So I'm gonna need 115 inches of this per strand, okay? 115 inches, and then in centimeters, you'll figure, I mean, it's all according to what your specifications are, okay? So I already started the work, but I'm gonna explain it to you. You're gonna lay the yarn pieces over a dowel, or you can lay it over your IKEA stand or whatever kind of stand you're using. And then you start knotting from the middle, okay? And I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, okay? If you are a smaller petite person, you can do 8, okay? These are booty shorts. So the pattern basically is gonna be 10, 9, 10, 9, 10, 9 in perpetuity. So if you are, like I said, a small medium, you can do 8, 7, 8, 7, 8, 7. You're gonna do this all the way around for the shorts. Now, the part that you're really gonna need to pay attention to is where I do the seaming and where I add the crotch area, okay? I'm gonna be in depth. I'm just gonna show a little bit of me working this, and then I'm gonna cut away to me putting it on the mannequin to make sure that it's lining up so that I have enough coverage over my butt and hips. I'll also show you the panel that goes for the crotch and the back, your behind area. I'll show you how I make enough coverage. 3 from the middle. I'm not really numbering them, but for your purposes, I started 1 and 2. So this will be a row of square knots. I always do left because, once again, I'm right-handed. So you will tie every single knot. You'll do every single strand into a square knot. All the way across. I'm leaving like a half an inch in between. So I'm leaving a little space because this is going to stretch. So you'll see what I mean when we put it on the body, the form. Okay, so you're going to go all the way across, get this all lined up. And then the next row, you skip 2 at the beginning and at the end. So you do, I'm going to do 9. If you're small medium, you're going to do 7 on the next row. So this is all I'm going to do. I'm going to be doing this for quite a while, obviously. Making sure it's tugged properly, making sure everything's even, and leaving like a half an inch between the knots from the previous row. Okay, so I'm going to finish that. We're out of power right now, so I can't do too much videoing right now, but I'll show you once. The most important part is for this whole shorts is when I put the shorts together and adding the crotch. So that's why I'm not showing me doing all these knots. It's just like once you know how to do the square knot, you're fine. But I do want to show you how to keep space between, because this line is getting a little wonky and I'm going to have to pull down here and mess with it to have it be the proper distance in between. But realistically, when I put them on, you're not going to be able to notice. You're not going to really see that. You need to fix this one, move it up a little, and you got to move things up and down when you don't use the method that I'm about to show you. Okay, so I'm going to make the first knot and get closer. So I'm going to make the first knot to show you how to do this distance thing, okay? Let me turn this here. I guess I'll give it space for spacing. So I need the knot to fall right about there. Okay. Okay, it's going to be perfect, so you'll see. Tie this. Okay. And then place this behind here. And then, so what I'll do is I'll make sure when I make my next one that it falls right up under here. It gets easier the more knots you have, okay? So, right up under there. Make sure that falls there. You take this out for a second, finish the knot. Because we're going to be able to leave it in there once we have a couple up. 2 to 3. Uh-oh, I didn't tie that loop that right. Because I don't want to be in front of the camera, so that's why makes it hard for me to show some certain things because of the camera angles. For me not to be in the way. So, and then go behind the 2 in the middle. All right, so now it'll sit. So as I go across, I can just make sure that the knots definitely fall, you know, under here. Or really you could just go right under, measure, get a ruler, or use any kind of thing that you've determined is the size spacing you want to be within, to be under. But honestly, I've been eyeing it and messing with stuff after. So I haven't done this a whole lot. So I'm going to finish doing the knotting till there's just a little bit left at the bottom, and I'll show you where we go from there. Right, so I'm almost done. It's just one long panel. You can knock out the first 2 rows if you're a small medium. You won't need all the rows. And remember, we're working vertically. Okay, I have it over the IKEA stand. So almost done here. It's very long. I have very wide hips, unfortunately. It is what it is. And I'm working on the IKEA stand. I have it placed over. And if you are small medium, like I said, you can eliminate two rows, so it'll be quicker for you. And if you're extra small, you can eliminate a 3rd row. All right, so I'm about to seam the booty shorts. This is very long. Like I said, if you're more hippie and more of a butt, then you're gonna have. So an important thing though is that wherever the bottom is gonna fall, you need to make sure to add a little bit more. So like in a diagonal fashion, and I put them closer together because this is gonna be your bottom derriere butt area, okay? And this can stop ahead of that. So this is kind of triangled out on both sides so that they match up, okay? And then, yeah. And I have my piece of braided rope that I'm gonna use for the seaming. And we're gonna be double vertical hitching. All right, so I'm gonna show you how to seam this. Let me get my camera set up. This part should be further across, okay? So I've made more tiny knots at the bottom. That has nothing to do with the crotch. It's just that the butt area comes out and your waist most likely is smaller and up above, and this part gets wider. So let me see, get this camera set up. Okay, so where is that piece of braided rope? Here it is. Let me cut it a little. It's too long. I think this part can go up here. You need to make a U with it. And then here, you put a knot up there. And then let me cut this off. I don't need all this excess. I don't know why I did that. So what you're gonna do, you can see that, yeah, it's pretty zoomed in, is you eat individually from the top, working from the top down. That's just the way I'm gonna do it. It's not necessary to do it that way. So hold on. Put the T-pin in a different place here. Was pulling in the wrong place. I'm just gonna basically double. Let's see, I'm right-handed, so I'm gonna go around and vertical double half hitch or clove hitch all the way around. Oh, did you see that nails finally come back a little bit? It still hurts, that finger, from the terrible door injury. And I polished my fingernails for this. And guess what? I've been working on stuff today and it's already smudged and everything. So you're gonna do this all the way down on both sides. Every single piece. Tightly, snugly up against. Just like this. Tiny little trees. I always think of Bob Ross. I don't know. People who are listening from different countries may not know who Bob Ross is, but tiny little trees is what I think of when I do my videos sometimes for y'all. I am very hungry. I haven't eaten. I've been up since 6:30. It is now almost 1 o'clock. I was going to take myself out to eat to get Mexican, but I decided I have leftover pizza here. I'm just going to eat that, save money. The world is on fire. They've just overturned abortion here in the United States. They're swiftly, the Supreme Court of the United States chiseling away at our rights. I mean, it was always a myth that it was the home of the free anyhow, but whatever. But not to get too political, even though I'm a very political person. Keep up with that stuff because it affects me and mine. But with that, I have so many projects, y'all, that I've already worked on today. I'm tired. As you can tell, my voice starts to go. But maybe I'll take a little nap before I get my son. He's been very sick this week. I had intended to have this tutorial up Wednesday. It is Friday now. I had to stop everything to let him cling to me and try to manage his spiking fevers, alternating ibuprofen every so many hours with Tylenol. And today he felt way better. I'm not sure. I'm about to text him in a minute to make sure that he truly is on the mend. So maybe I'll have to go pick him up. I hope he's okay. But we had tested for COVID and strep throat and ear infections and nothing came up. Poor little feller. He's my poor little feller. He's so tiny. And I had to medically bolus his food into his belly because he wouldn't eat. And yeah, that's what I deal with. Poor little fella. But I'll get him shortly. Hopefully after I finish this video. And you know what? Maybe I should go ahead and speed this up because I'm not going to be doing anything different. I'll show you when I get to the bottom. Okay, so I seamed this side. So we did all that. That's what it looks like. I'm going to leave a little bit of space down there because that's where the crotch is going to go. Okay, part of the crotch. And then I'm going to go ahead and seam this side. Okay, so both sides are seamed. Now we're going to turn it the other way because that's going to be the side that we just seamed is going to be the side that is the, what am I trying to say? That's going to be the, all right, so now we zoom in. You have this piece that runs like this. You're going to pull on it, okay? Pull, pull. Okay, pull, pull. Not too much. tie it for now. Tie it. Now, so push this stuff in here. We're going to need to cut all that off, obviously. You're going to need to take stitch glue or fabric fusion, whatever you want to use. Just glue around there. In the meantime, I've pulled. Need a little more space. So once you get these together, we're going to seam it, okay? I'm gonna get out my needle, my darning needle. Hold on, this is stuck. Take these T-pins out. Okay. Because you do want the fabric to stretch, just like, you know, they're booty shorts, so you want it, you know, like your underwear would be. So this is going to be the seam in the back. Or, let me think about this. Well, let me cut it down. Find my scissors. Okay, so now I have to take it back off so that we can seam it with the needle and a piece of yarn. Okay. So take it off. Turn it inside out again. You'll let that glue dry, obviously. And then we're going to do the crotch. We'll add the crotch in a separate video. It's very simple. Or we'll add it now. We'll see. Okay, so as you can see, if you look at this, this part juts out more than this because that's where the bigger part of your arse is, or butt. So let me find my needle. That's good. Huh? This is good. It's good with that.
Yeah. I'm proud of him.
Yep, I bet. All right, everyone, I have my foam board out and I have T-pins on here. So I'm gonna be using the foam board to finish this item up. I just spent 30 minutes of wasting my time looking for a... So before I do that though, I just wanna show you something. If you don't want these to be booty shorts, you can turn it around and just put it on as a top. I would cinch this with I would make a long piece of this, but with maybe a 3-2-3 pattern as opposed to 4-3. And I would make it long enough to go around and tie it in a bow in the front and let the fringe hang down. Just make a little bandeau halter top. You can do that. You could even pull this more at the top, this braided piece, which I think I mentioned, don't make it braided, just make it a single strand instead because it makes it too bulky in the back. That was a mistake, an error, design flaw, so you can fix it by not doing it. Pull this and it'll cinch even more, okay? And just wear in the front And then you can wear a bandeau bra under it or whatever. Just another idea. It could be a top as well before you obviously have the crotch piece. So here's the crotch piece. It could be longer. I've already taken so long to get this video ready for you all. I've been foretelling it. I know people want to see it. I'm going to attach down here on this side, back side first. So let me put my camera down. I'm starting to have a hot flash. Oh my God. Part of the reason why this isn't out sooner. My health is terrible. Okay. Sure it's tight. Okay. All right, I'm going to tie this off right there. Pull it through first. That's what it was hung on. Part that it was hung on, you all. And go back through. Nice and secure. All right, now I need to cut and weave in some of the ends. So I'll be right back. All right, so I've added the crotch in. You see these pieces right here? Let me see if I can put this in a different position. So, got these pieces. I'm gonna cut this down a little more, but I'm gonna add like a piece of cloth, fabric fuse a cloth over this, or I may machine sew it. I'll let you know what I do. So the crotch is added on both sides and just need to add the liner, panty liner. Okay, the crotch is in. Now I could crochet around here. If you want these to be longer, you could just you could reverse lark's head on a bunch of pieces here and make it fringy.